to leave.
Will it be an all males floor or all men's floor?
Yeah.
A lot of the floors in our SRO hotels are all male.
No,
The vast majority of them are.
No, I mean for real. Is there really going to be like an all, like you have the all women's floor for women who like get out of relationships and stuff like that don't want to be bothered by men? Or are you going to have a floor just for men who don't want to be bothered by women?
So I will ask you this question. How many men do you know that have been beaten by women? Like really physically hurt and beaten by women? Okay.
No, but
I see at least 3 hands.
But that's a trick question.
No, it's not a trick question. It's different.
75% of males who get abused by women will not report it because of they are way too embarrassing them.
Are you scared of women? As a group?
As a group, yes.
So when you walk down the street and you see a group of women, you might feel intimidated. Because when I walk down the street and I only see men just hanging out on the street, there's a moment that I feel just a little worried. I'm like, oh wait, they might be able to beat me. They might be able to rape me. Now when you walk down the street and you just see a group of women, do you worry about being beaten or raped, whether it's a real fear or not?
Yes.
Okay, all right. I will just say one other thing. And I clearly am very opinionated about this, right? Because I am a woman. I want you to think about this in terms of privilege, okay? In terms of privilege. And let's talk about race, okay? Because I think that's something that everyone can hear. It's very controversial, but it's something that people can understand. Now, I used to be a part of an Asian American Students Association in college. And, I had friends that were in the Black Student Union. I had friends that were in the Chicano Latino Union. I actually had white friends come up to me and be like, oh, how come you guys get to have your own group? If white students started their own group, you'd be saying that we were racist. And here's what I said. I mean, my answer is complicated. But there is a privilege in being white in this country. Now, I'm not saying that if you're white, you have a lot of power as an individual. But if you're white, you might be more likely to find a white president, a white senator, a white police chief. I mean, I'm just saying, right? There is privilege linked to race. There's also privilege linked to gender. There's also privilege linked to being straight. I just want to be real about that, and that's why I just want you to acknowledge that.
I'm glad you acknowledge it. I'm glad.
I mean, I totally acknowledge it, but you just. I'm not raising my voice, man. It's just the way my voice is.
No, you are.
No, it's just the way my voice is.
That's my voice.
So, like you come up here and said, I haven't been on that other side, and I haven't seen the evils that women can do, and women can be just as brutal as men can be. So on that
I will say this to you, okay? Black people can be just as prejudiced against white people as white people are. But there's a different level of power. Now, Obama is president. I'm not saying we don't have a black male as president, but let's be real. Black people do not have power in the same way that white people do. They don't, right? And so but white people can still say, but black people are prejudiced. I've heard them call me names, right? But that's really different. So I just think men and women do hold, in a very similar vein, different levels of privileges as a society, not by individuals. I'm not saying women can't beat men, but systematically, men beat women more. And men are bigger than women, just as an average. That doesn't mean that men don't get beat by women. It also doesn't mean that black people don't discriminate against white people. If you contextualize it, I believe strongly that there's a case for why we have an all women's floor versus an all men's floor.
I can understand that. He has a question for you.
I had a question. Seems to me a separate hotel for women would make sense. A floor doesn't make sense. I don't see what that's true.
I actually would prefer that too.
That is better.
You make all the women instead of these things and think they're women. That's what.
Yeah, the whole hotel, like I said. Not just one floor.
I will push for that. Okay.
Build the whole hotel.
Okay. All right.